Hi, I'm Eve Samples, Executive Director at Friends of the Everglades, and behind me is a picture of the toxic algae blooms that affected Florida in 2018, 2016, and years before that. And I'm here today to talk to you about a bad bill pending in Tallahassee during the legislative session that would lead to the potential for more toxic algae blooms like the one behind me. So I want to fill you in on it and tell you how you can take action. So on Friday afternoon, last Friday, February 4th, Senate Bill 2508 dropped. These things do tend to drop on Friday afternoons with hopes that nobody will notice them, I guess. Well, we noticed, and we found three especially concerning things about this bill that I'm going to focus on right now. So number one, this bill would totally manipulate the new Lake Okeechobee plan. For 3 years now, Friends of the Everglades has been tracking the Lake Okeechobee System Operating Manual. This is the new Army Corps of Engineers plan that will determine when and where water moves from the lake. And we've been advocating for a management plan that would lead to fewer toxic algae blooms like the one behind me, more protection for public health, and more protection for the environment, Southern Everglades, Northern estuaries, and the lake itself. So we were poised to make some decent progress on that. Weren't getting everything we wanted, but things were going to be better than the status quo. Well, along came Senate Bill 2508, which essentially would enshrine into state law the water supply protections that currently exist for Everglades agricultural area farmers, hundreds of thousands of acres of sugarcane in this area, and they depend on the lake for irrigation. This is a problem because when water is stockpiled in Lake Okeechobee for irrigation, when the rainy season rolls around, it's likely discharged east and west, and this is also algae bloom season. So that's the problem with that. And we've been pushing for a more equitable lake plan that sends more flows south during the dry season to the Southern Everglades, which need them, also west to the Caloosahatchee at times of the year when it needs it only, instead of stockpiling this water in the lake for sugarcane irrigation. Well, Senate Bill 2508 would totally undercut that. We're very concerned about it. The second concerning thing it does is it would address wetland permitting. This is called 404 permitting, and would give some powers to public entities, including utilities, with regards to wetland permitting. So I'll spare you the details, but we're concerned. This is something that used to be governed by the federal government. That authority was passed to the state of Florida to approve these wetlands permits. And now what's proposed in this law would allow those to be expedited by using funds from entities that stand to benefit from some of these permits. So that's our reading of this proposal. And then last but not least, there's concerning language in the bill about Everglades funding. So it would change some of the formulas for funding. And just one concerning example is that it would direct more funding to deep wells north of Lake Okeechobee that are really not beneficial for the environment. They don't store enough water to make a difference in terms of the discharges that cause algae blooms. What they do is provide water supply for farmers north of the lake. So we don't think those should be accelerated. So bottom line is toxic blue-green algae, like this awful picture behind me, poses a public health threat. It poses a threat to our environment. We need to be working to protect those things in Florida rather than undercut them. We see 2508 moving entirely in the wrong direction. So what you can do is stay tuned to Friends of the Everglades. We are actually sending Policy Director Gil Smart up to Tallahassee tomorrow for a hearing that starts at 9 a.m. Wednesday. He will be tracking this bill and providing comments. And stay tuned. We'll tell you how to get in touch with your lawmakers. You can always go to the Florida Senate website, look up your own lawmaker and contact them and tell them that you are opposed to 2508. This is a bad bill. We appreciate you following it along with us, and we will keep you informed.